Okay, y'all. We're going to do a reading. And I'm going to be honest, I really didn't want to do one today. Like, I just did not feel it. But I felt like I should. Okay. I still felt like I should. So we're just going to go ahead. And we're going to do a shadow reading. We are going to see what shadows are in the forefront for us. So let's go ahead and let's get a, what is the theme? What shadow is coming out? What theme? Or what? Wow. What is the theme for this shadow we're creating? There we go. There we go. What is the theme for this shadow we're creating? So we have the Six of Torment, which is Stonewall. So this would be the Six of Swords. So this is like some, like we're blocking something, okay? Like that's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting. Like we're trying to block something, okay? Three of Decay, Submerged. This could be something that's deeply ingrained within us, okay? I love this card because it shows you the top, but at the very bottom, I mean, there's just so much more, you know, going on at the bottom of this island. So we're trying to block something. So this is more of like the subconscious. We're trying to block something that's within the subconscious, okay? And by doing this, by blocking it, by not bringing it up to the surface, it's not allowing us to move forward, because normally the Six of Swords, it's a card of, you know, moving from the rough waters into a more calmer water, you know, a calmer state of being, a more calm state of mind. So there's something here that we are not willing to acknowledge. We're not willing to bring it up to the surface. So let's see, what else can you tell me? Let's get some more information. The Ace of Torment, Smoke and Mirrors. So yeah, we're just kind of trying. It's like the energy that I'm picking up is that we're basically playing ourselves. Okay, we're playing ourselves, and I keep getting the word, we're manipulating our own self. Okay, we're manipulating our own self because we do not want to acknowledge whatever this is. We are not trying to acknowledge it. We are not trying to bring it up to the surface. We're trying to push it down more and more and more. But again, that's causing us to be stagnant. It's not allowing us to move forward. And we will not be moving forward if we do not address whatever this is. I love these cards so much. Six of Rage, Tyrant. So whatever this is keeping us in prison, okay? I love it because the Six of Torment and the Six of Rage. So the Six of Rage in like the normal tarot, it's an energy of like victory. It's an energy of success. Again, it's like this energy of moving forward. But again, we're not allowing ourselves to do that. We're giving our power away to something. We're giving our power away. It's like we've shackled ourselves to something, okay? Yeah, Eight of Rage, Muzzled. Where have you been dishonest with yourself? In what area of your life have you been dishonest with yourself? For some of you guys, this is a secret. Oh, goodness. For some of you guys, this is a secret that you're keeping, okay? For others of you, wow, okay. For some of you guys, I don't really like using this word. I used to throw it around a lot, but it's the word that they're bringing up to me. For some of you guys, I feel like you guys could be in like some sort of narcissistic relationship or a connection with somebody. It's like you keep giving your power away to this person. Okay, that's just for some, not for everybody. The Hanged Man, Sacrificial Lamb. So yeah, we're, instead of allowing ourselves to look at something differently, right? Because too, like the Hangman is also like, it's a stagnant card. It just depends in like how it's coming out. I feel like for some of you guys are like sacrificing your own views for something. It's like this, it's like a people pleaser tendency here that I'm picking up on. Imp of Rage, which is temper tantrum. There is a lot of fire here, a lot of fire energy here. To me, so the fire energy is in correspondence with spirit, okay? So it's definitely, for some of you guys, like I said, there is an outside influence, but for some of you, for most of you guys, there's something internally that you're battling, okay? It's like you guys have hit a wall and you don't know what to do, but it's like, it's, I don't even know what the word I want to use. I want to say like imaginary, you know, like there's not actually a wall there. It's something that you're creating for yourself, especially with the smoke and mirrors. We're not seeing something for what it really is, which would make sense why the Hangman is here as well. Okay, so we have the Imp of Decay, which is fruitless. I feel like yeah, okay, for some of you guys, there is a behavioral issue here, okay? Now, don't come for me because I'm going to be honest. I do not remember what the word fruitless I don't remember the definition for it. I'm like drawing a blank right now. So I wanted to get a clarifier just because I couldn't remember, you know, the definition of fruitless, but I wanted to get a clarifier, and we ended up getting the 10 of torment, which is the 10 of swords. We have final cut. So for some of you guys, like I said, this has to do with the mindset, okay? And for others of you, there is a person in your life who has this behavioral issue, okay? And the energy that I'm picking up is that it's time to cut it off. Whether it's something mentally or whether it is something physically, it's time to cut it off because it is keeping you trapped, okay? It's keeping you a prisoner. Whatever this is, however it resonates for you, okay? But it's keeping you trapped. It's not allowing you to move forward, like I was saying from the very beginning with the 6 of torment, the stone wall. There's something here that is blocking you. There's something here that is not allowing you to move forward. And like I said, it's subconscious. There's something subconsciously going on. Now, yes, it could be a physical person, right? But we're talking about the shadow. I still stand that people in the physical realm will show you your own issues, okay? They will show you your own issues. And it may not be exactly, so for example, let's say that you are somebody who is not honest with yourself, okay? So let's say that there's somebody in your life that comes in and they show you that they are not an honest person. A lot of the times we like to blame the person. Oh, that person wasn't being honest with me. You know, that person lied to me. How could that person lie to me? But I want you to get very, very, very honest with yourself. How have you lied to yourself? Because it starts with us, right? But how have you lied to yourself? What are you hiding from yourself? Remember, there's a secret here that we're holding on to. But do you see what I'm trying to say is how people will mirror back to us our own subconscious mind. And it's not to say to keep the other person around, you know, if they're being deceitful or if they're, you know, whatever. But it's an opportunity to look at yourself and be like, okay, well, you know what? I was also not being honest with my own self. So let's get one last message from, let's get one last message from the Dark Night of the Soul. Excuse me. I don't know if I want to take all of these because there's a lot of them. And I kind of just want one. Okay, so the last message is the Ace of Rage, which is Inferno. So the word that I'm getting is we keep putting ourselves through hell. Like that is the message that I'm picking up on with getting this Ace of Rage. We keep putting ourselves through hell. We are allowing for something to happen over and over and over again. A lot of people do not like to acknowledge this, but we do play a major role in our suffering. And you know what? Shadow work is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be honest with themselves, okay? A lot of people would rather play the victim. A lot of people would rather play the blame game because it's so much more easier to point the finger at somebody else or something else rather than acknowledging ourselves and being like, well, you know what? I've been that way as well, or I am that way. This is like literally insanity. There was, and I'll share my experience with you guys. So I started dating people around, like, I want to say, I don't know if I dated anybody when I was in 9th grade. No, I did. I was dating somebody in the 9th grade. And this was like my first actual relationship. It lasted for like 8-9 months. But in this relationship, it wasn't the best, you know, but it wasn't the worst either. But at one point, I had met a guy that I went to high school with. And with this guy, I really, really liked him. I had a crush on him. And yes, I was in a relationship. Well, I ended up cheating on my boyfriend at the time, okay? Ended up cheating on him with this guy friend. Well, then, probably like a month after that happened, this same guy friend, and I was still in the relationship. I never told the guy, you know, that I cheated on him. But like a month after that happened with me and my friend, he ended up introducing me to one of his other friends. And this guy was older than me. I think he was like 19 or 20 at the time. I was only 15. And we ended up going to this thing here in Wichita. We have a thing called Riverfest. I ended up going there with them. Ended up going back home with them to their friend's house, to a different friend's house. Got drunk for the first time in my life. They both, my friend and his friend, both took advantage of me. And the cops got involved because my mom didn't know where I was at, didn't come home, nothing, you know, she didn't know where I was at. Cops got involved. They ended up finding me. I don't even know how the fuck they found me, but they found me. And I think it was because my friend, his mom knew his friends. They were all in the same trailer park and whatever. So I think she kind of figured it out that we were at this other guy's house. Anyways, ended up going home, you know, whatever. Process that shit. Then some way, somehow, which I already knew, my friend ended up giving my number to this guy, to the older guy. And we ended up talking. And the funny thing is that I did not even like this guy. Okay, I didn't find him attractive, like nothing like that. But for some reason, I don't know if he like just coursed me or just, you know, was very good at talking and manipulated me with his words. I really don't really remember. But we ended up dating. We ended up dating for 7 years. 7 years. Okay. And I did break up with the guy that I was with. So I did break up with him before I started dating this dude. This dude was also in a relationship, broke up with her. Then about a month in, cheated on me with his ex-girlfriend. And I didn't know until like 6 months later, right? And then in 2011, cheated on me again. Had an affair with this girl for 3 years, okay? Broke it off with her, and guess what he did? He went and did it again with somebody else. So that was very traumatic for me. Like that whole situation, I mean, it was very, very traumatic because not only was there cheating involved, but there was also abuse involved. physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It was all there. And I remember when I finally left this relationship, which was in 2017, is when I finally decided to leave. Because I got with him in 2009. I left in 2017. I finally decided to leave because he had pushed me out of the window and dislocated my elbow. And the reason why I was going out the window was because he was still living with his dad, and his dad did not like me because his dad was like, you're a fucking psycho and blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't allowed at the house anymore. But he snuck me in through the window, and he was drunk and he was very belligerent, and I just didn't want to fucking deal with it. So I was like, I'm going home. So I was leaving through the window. He comes up behind me and he pushes me. I land on my left elbow, which got dislocated. Had to drive myself to the hospital. And still talk to him for maybe a month or two after all of that happened. But I finally just got really fucking tired of it, right? I was like, I can't do this anymore because he's gonna end up killing me next. So I didn't even process that relationship. I ended up having sex with like a bunch of different men for like the rest of 2017. If we're being honest here, yeah. Up until like March of 2018, it's kind of when I was like, I need to take a step back and slow the fuck down. And I just didn't allow myself to heal. I ended up moving to Colorado 2018 in August. And that's when a lot of my healing began. But even then, I still didn't really allow myself to grieve or process that relationship that I was in for 7 years. And then the more I got onto my healing journey, the more I was able to connect with myself and go deep with myself. I'm not sitting here and excusing anybody's behavior, but it was showing me the lack of trust that I had within myself. Because I was getting messages of him cheating on me, and not like people telling me, but like dreams and stuff, okay? I was having dreams. They would give me the name of the girl, what she looked like, everything. And I didn't trust myself. I kept putting it off, like, oh, I mean, at that time, I didn't really know or understand what was going on. Obviously, throughout the years, I finally understood, like, my intuition was trying to tell me something. And I completely ignored it because I didn't trust myself. I trusted those around me. I felt like the people around me would never lie to me. And so a lot of shit happened to me because I didn't trust myself. And there's so much more, there's so much more, but this is just an example. I didn't trust myself, so I ended up putting myself through a lot of bullshit. Because had I just trusted myself and believed in myself, I would have got myself out of that situation. But because I didn't and I lacked it, I allowed myself to stay. I allowed myself to go through it. And like I said, I'm not saying that what he did was right, because it absolutely was not. But you will keep going. You will keep putting yourself in situations that are very similar. If you do not trust yourself, if you do not put boundaries up, if you're a people pleaser, it's even fucking worse. If you're codependent, you guys, the shit we would do for people, it is fucking insane. But the point that I'm trying to get to is that we always have something, okay? There's always something in here that we need to look at first before we go and blame all of these other people. And like I said, I'm not excusing his behavior because I'm pretty sure that's just, those are his own traumas, his own patterns, his own behaviors that he needs to acknowledge in order to get out of that. But it was also not my responsibility to sit here and show somebody that didn't want to be shown. So I had to take care of myself first, and that's what shadow work is about. It's about looking at yourself and looking at yourself very, very deeply and being like, you know what? I didn't trust myself, so I kept putting myself through this. And this is not to invalidate your experience, because your experience was very real and true. But sometimes we have to take a step back, okay, and really look within. That's why I love doing shadow work. A lot of people don't do it. Again, like I said, because they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to blame themselves. They don't, You know, they'd rather point the finger at somebody else. But the more that you do it, the more you implicate it into your life, the easier it gets, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's a very hard process to start, but the more you do it, it becomes easy, and honestly, it becomes kind of fun because you can look at yourself in a completely new way. You don't let what happened to you affect you anymore like it did, like it once did. You don't let it hold you like it once did. Because you understand your role. You understand why certain things happened the way that they did. And I feel like I sound really insensitive, but I promise you I'm not, you guys. I have been through so much in my fucking life, okay? I have been through so much in my fucking life. But I have learned so much as well. And having those experiences, they have helped me grow so fucking much. Because now, and I'm still learning, okay? But now I know what to tolerate. Now I know when to walk the fuck away. Now I know when I gotta set boundaries. I know when I'm starting to become codependent again. I notice when I'm starting to people please again. There is always a gift in the lessons that are presented to us. So let's get some advice in regards to this. Yes, the Queen of Wands, confident and magnetic. Oh my God, I love this. This is who we truly are, is this, okay? But again, and like I said, I think I even said it in the beginning, there is some sort of deceit here, okay? We are not being honest with ourselves in some place in our life. And why? Because we're lacking confidence. There's something within our self-esteem. Look at that. The Six of Wands, success and recognition. We have the Six of Wands in the other deck, and it wanted to come out in this one. I feel like whenever you can start to acknowledge who you are and recognize who you are, right? Because as human beings, we have the light and dark aspect. It's not just always light. I feel like a lot of people like to sit there and pretend like they have no darkness within them, and that's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. As a human being, you will have both. And it took a lot for me to acknowledge that and to be honest with myself about that. Because nobody wants to sit here and be labeled as bad or negative. But it's part of the human experience. And when you push that part of you away, oh, that part of you is going to shine even more. And we also have the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Swords, sharp and assertive. So not only is the advice is to believe in ourselves and to recognize these aspects within ourselves, but we also need to acknowledge, where do we place boundaries, okay? So here's an example. If you realize that you're around somebody and you realize that you're always super tired, or they're very negative, you know, place some boundaries. You either eliminate the person completely, or you limit yourself from having contact with them. But again, you have to recognize this. Like, okay, this person, you know, they have such a negative mindset that when I'm around them, you know, I just feel depleted. You're either going to limit contact, or you're just going to cut them out. Okay, these are the last two. We have the Nine of Swords, which is self-sabotage and nightmares. And then I think this is really funny, because we have the King of Pentacles, which is stable. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is nurturing. So I do feel like you guys may struggle with that, with anxiety, okay? Again, that self-sabotage energy. That self-sabotage energy it's an energy of deceit, okay? It's an energy of not being honest with yourself. It's also an energy It's an energy of protection. At the end of it all, it is protection, okay? But how long is self-sabotage going to help us? And how has self-sabotage helped you, but how has it also taken you off course? And with this King of Pentacles, the stable card, I feel like that's what we crave, right? Is to be stable within us, to find that peace within us. But again, you have to acknowledge all of these other behaviors that are within you. If you cannot acknowledge it, you will never be at peace with yourself. You will never be at peace with others, because you are still continuing to lie to yourself. So let's get one last card from our inner child. And we have the dream. The power of the dream resides in active dreaming. Allow yourself the freedom to aspire, for you are worth your best efforts regardless of the outcome. Take time today to dream what you may and have faith that it is good. So a lot of us dream of being different, right? Being a different person. Maybe we dream of not acting this way or behaving this way or having these behavioral issues, these habits, these patterns. But a dream is simply a dream. A dream will not manifest unless you take action, unless you do something about it every single day. And it doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something small. For example, maybe you're somebody who gets on their phone right when you wake up. I can't even talk because I fucking do the same thing. But I also know that it's not good for me. I know it's not good for my mental health. So what are other habits that we can create? Maybe instead of getting on our phones, maybe we can read like a few pages from a book. Maybe we can go on a walk. We can stretch our body, make our bed, shower, brush your teeth, and make that a habit instead of getting on your phone constantly. Because I think that, for me, like getting on my phone doesn't help me in the morning. It really genuinely does not help me. I think it makes me even more miserable. So it's just all about cultivating different habits for yourself. So what can you do to start to uncover these secrets that lie within your subconscious mind? What is something that you can do to bring this up to the surface? For some of you guys, it's anger, okay? There's a lot of anger behind this. So that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you for being here. And I hope that this reading wasn't all over the fucking place. It probably was, honestly. But we always got to start somewhere, right? We got to start somewhere. Sometimes we need that tough love. It just is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. And I hope you guys do something that makes you absolutely happy.